This is a warning, guys. We have got 50 days until the casino is back. And I want to highlight those 50 days in particular because we need to make money. We can see in the top right corner of the screen, I currently have just over 30.5 million credits in the bank. And I don't think that's enough for Season 4. Now, of course, we already know the casino will be back in Season 4. We're going to need a lot of money, in my opinion, to be heading into the casino. Then, well, it's not just the casino. We think about the cars. There's going to be more cars coming to the game. There's going to be more cars coming to the dealership. In particular, well, we've got one very specific car that I'm very interested in, and it is, of course, this Aston Martin Valor. Now, unattainable, in my opinion, through the ranked racing. I think that's quite well documented by now. But this Aston Martin Valor will be coming to the dealerships in Season 4, along with the Bugatti Chiron 300 and many more. We've speculated on them, I've done videos on them, what I think is coming in Season 4 with some of the leaks, and I'm very excited. But it comes back to that fact. We're going to need money. I think we're going to need a lot of money for Season 4, not only for having some fun in the casinos, having some poker nights and chilling out with some friends, but buying these cars, buying some upgrades. Then we're going to need to stack some more money for future seasons. Let's talk about houses. I think houses are going to be coming back in future seasons. We already know that. I just don't think it's going to be in year one. So today I'm focusing in, and every day for that fact, I'm focusing in on making as much money as possible. Now, last night we had a glorious night out in Test Drive, where we had some 8-man cruises going on, with one Alex7 joining in on the EU server cruises that we've been doing recently. Now, we know that to an extent multiplayer does work in Test Drive. We've been proving that every single week. Everybody meeting up in the Steam chat, jumping into lobbies together, 2 teams of 4, and just having a cruise around the map. Whether it's in the Audi R8s or a car of your choice, we've had some fantastic outings. Last night, absolutely no exception. Yeah, good chats and some interesting cars showing up. Managing to show off our liveries, whether they work or not. For reference, Test Drive for some reason shadow banned this livery for the Lamborghini Huracan that I built. I've sent over the feed for that to be investigated. So yeah, we can see that there has been a lot of progress with the game. There's been a lot of developments with the game. But with all of that, we've got to do our own part. And for me, our own part is making as much money as possible. Like I said earlier, 30 million I've got in the bank, I don't think it's enough. I think a minimum I'm going to be expecting to have is 50 million. That might sound like a lot and it might sound hard to get, but I want to come back to that earlier screen where we said we had 50 days left of Test Drive in Season 3. Well, go and complete Frim. Once every day, once every day, you'll make 1 million credits. 50 days, 50 million credits. Simple maths on that one. Now, of course, there are other options for making money. I've covered these several times before. Let's just clean the map up here so there's nothing else on. Head all the way to the bottom, down to contracts, and as you look at that, we've got the Ferrari F40 delivery contract right at the bottom of the map. We're going to quickly head on over there, where we can see that the F40 contract will pay us out for a 6.7 mile delivery. A legendary contract, 200,000 credits for some very quick work. Now, of course, this isn't the only avenue to make money in the game. This may be monotonous, it may be tedious for many people, and I do understand that. I personally love coming in, rinse and repeating the legendary, the iconic contracts that are paying 100,000 and 200,000 credits. Quick work. Enjoying some cars I've not previously driven. In particular, last night I was driving the FXXK over on the Ibiza map, a car I've yet to drive or own in game until I drove it on that delivery mission, and that there comes back to the pedigree and the purpose of Test Drive Unlimited. Driving cars we wouldn't normally drive. You know, we can even take it back to the Citroen 2CV, which I'm not going to do right now. I don't think many people want to see that, but the pedigree of driving these vehicles that, one, we don't own, but two, we normally wouldn't buy or might even be unattainable to ever buy. The pedigree of Test Drive is very much there. So these contract missions, for me, I love them. Come back in, I rinse and repeat them every single day, and it might not sound exciting, but for me it is, as I absolutely wipe out the F40, not concentrating. God, we're down to 50,000 reward now, that sucks. Really need to concentrate. But yeah, to come back in, rinse and repeat these delivery missions is exactly what I want to be doing in this game. It was what was missing, it is now what has been added, and I'm so thankful for it. Yep, for a while before the patch, we never seen the legendary or the higher end, the more prestige contracts. But that patch now coming into place, seeing the Pista pop up, the FXXK, the F40, the AC427, some of these prestigious contracts now popping up for us. What else have we actually seen? The Pininfarina Battista, the Koenigsegg Regera, These prestigious contracts are now popping up, and there's such an easy way of farming money. You guys should know that. I've already made a lot of content on the easiest ways of farming a lot of money every single day, and this is essentially what I'm coming back to once again. Farm as much as possible. I think we're going to need a lot of money for this casino. I think we're going to need a lot of money for the new cars as well, let's be honest. That Chiron isn't cheap. I don't expect the Valor to be cheap. And whatever else it is we're going to get, whether it's through the solar pass or through the stores, I don't think it's going to be cheap. I mean, God, we can even take it back to license plates. Some of the license plates costing over 100,000 for the plate, 50,000 for the background. Ludicrous pricing, but it may just be what we want to have. And of course, to do that, well, you're going to need the money to do it. Yeah, I'm actually going to quickly address that when we actually had a little conversation down in Test Drive's Discord about the number plates, about how dear those license plates are. Are they trying to make a United Arab Emirates style ecosystem with license plates? It doesn't matter the car you're driving, it matters the plate. I mean, if that is the case, I personally don't think it's working. I do not like the pricing of plates in the game. I've covered it before. I'm not going to dwell on it all too much. It is just an expensive addition to the game that, without being able to customize it for understandable reasons, which I also think could be fixed, those of course being offensive and derogative words put onto license plates, I totally get that. But they could also put a banned words in, like what Forza did, you know, having banned words on a license plate so you cannot do anything insulting, I do think is a fix. But without getting hung up on it all too much, I do feel the license plate ecosystem in TDU is just too expensive and could be rectified. Nonetheless, it's another part of the game that is very expensive. So first of all, buying some vehicles, very expensive. I expect some of these new cars that we're going to get are going to be ludicrously expensive. Then of course having all the additions, yeah, we're probably going to spend 200,000 to 300,000 for upgrades, turbochargers, exhaust systems, tyres, brakes, suspension, whatever else it is you decide to do. So you're going to need more money for that. Creating liveries, which again is something else that I believe needs improved. You just go back in to add one single sticker, it will cost you 30,000, or if you go in and build a full livery, paint job, everything you could imagine doing, it would still cost you 30,000. No matter what you want to do in liveries, it's going to cost you 30,000. One of the big things the game pushes is stickers. Cool, you've just unlocked the latest new sticker, 30,000. It's part of the ecosystem. That doesn't work. Again, I think that will be improved over time. So what I've kind of tried to ramble on about today is the fact we need money. We need to stack money. We need a lot of money, and I think 50 million is easily achievable by Season 4. So get yourself into the game, guys. Complete some contracts. Legendary, try not muck them up like I did, losing 152,000 by not concentrating, walking away with just 48,000, of course, including some little bonuses there that we're going to get for driving assists, and first win of the day bonus is in fact 66,000. It's not ideal considering that probably should have paid me out circa 250 towards 300,000 credits. Now of course those missions aren't always going to pop up in the map, but we can take advantage of some of the others that we do get. The uncommon contracts, not as glamorous, just 40,000 rewards, delivering the Dino 246 GTS. Then of course those slightly nasty common contracts that don't pay much money at all, but coming into there time and time again, heading over to the Aberdeen gas station, that you're going to be well aware, well, we're coming over here to abuse our Frim. We're coming here to farm Frim. I don't want to say abuse, I don't think that's the right word, but we're coming over here to farm Frim every single day. 10 runs with level 10 Frim, paying you out 1 million credits, then of course on a Monday, paying you 150,000 per run, so you're essentially walking away with 1.5 million credits every single Monday for completing out a Frim. Yes, it can be monotonous, it can be tedious, but the more we do this, the quicker it gets, the more, you know, we kind of finesse what we're doing with the Frim. For me personally, I've kind of got it down to around about half an hour now. So yep, it is half an hour every single day that I come in here and farm my Frim. I'm kind of happy with that. I don't mind it all too much. I would like other ways of doing it. I've played about on the freeway sections. I just don't think there's a better place for farming Frim than what we've got here at the Aberdeen gas station. So yeah, for me it's a half-hour process every day. Come in, run up and down this freeway section here through Aberdeen Tunnel, do some donuts, some 360s, drifts, everything else that we kind of need to do, dodge traffic the correct way, go against the traffic, everything else here, keep that multiplier running, which unfortunately I have just lost, but it's not the end of the world. We've got enough time to make that multiplier back. I think it's going to be incredibly easy for us to do this, guys. I'm not concerned heading into Season 4. I just feel like we're going to need so much money for the casino and obviously the new cars that are coming to the game. Yeah, for me right now, 30 million in the bank, it's not enough. I think a minimum of 50 million, so I realistically only need to make another 20 million. I'm quite happy with that one, guys. Let me know what you've got in the bank in the game. Flex what you've already got, but again, let me know what your targets are for Season 4. How much are you anticipating you're going to need for the return of the casino, guys? Hope you've enjoyed today's video. Stay tuned for more updates on Test Drive Unlimited. Solar Crown.